You open your bank app for the third time today. Rent is coming soon. Food costs more than it did last month. Your phone bill is waiting. And somewhere in the middle of all that, people online keep talking about building wealth. But when you look at your account, $500 does not feel like a life-changing number. It feels small. Too small to matter. Most people think wealth starts with a huge moment, a big salary, a lucky break, a winning investment, something dramatic. But most fortunes do not begin that way. They begin quietly. A small decision repeated again and again, while nobody notices. That is why the dangerous thing about $500 is not how small it is. It is how easy it is to waste every month for years without seeing what it could have become. A few food deliveries here, new shoes there, random online shopping at midnight. Nothing feels serious in the moment, but time keeps counting anyway. Now imagine something different. Not becoming rich overnight. Not driving a luxury car next month. Just saving or investing $500 every single month. Simple, boring, ordinary. At first, nothing changes. Your life looks almost the same. The numbers move slowly. Nobody claps for you. Nobody even sees it happening. Because most life-changing habits look meaningless in the beginning. But something quiet starts to happen. The account grows slowly. But the person changes first. And the hardest phase is not growing the money. It is continuing before the results exist. The first few months feel almost pointless. You put the money in every month and check the account again later, and barely anything changed. Sometimes the market goes up a little. Sometimes it goes down. Most days, it feels completely still. Meanwhile, life keeps moving around you. Your friends are going out every weekend, buying new phones, taking trips, posting pictures online like they already figured life out. And you sit there wondering if saving $500 every month is even doing anything at all. Because the sacrifice feels bigger than the reward in the beginning. You say no to small things. You think twice before spending. You skip things other people buy without thinking. And after months of discipline, the account still does not look impressive. That is the phase nobody talks about. The boring phase. The invisible phase. The part where nothing outside your life changes yet. This is where doubt starts getting louder. You look at the numbers and think, what's the point? I could be enjoying this money right now. Maybe this is too small to matter. And honestly, that feeling is normal. Most people stop here. Not because the plan failed, but because the results are too quiet in the beginning. Compounding does not look powerful at first. It looks slow, weak, almost disappointing. But something important is happening under the surface. Every month you continue, you are teaching yourself a new identity. You are becoming someone who can think past today. And even if the account still looks small, the discipline is already growing. After a while, the money stops being the main thing you think about. The real victory becomes showing up again next month. And then the month after that. At first, saving $500 felt painful, like you were losing freedom. But slowly, something starts changing in the background. You begin paying attention to where your money goes. Small purchases that once felt normal suddenly feel unnecessary. You stop buying things just because you are bored. You stop spending money to impress people who are not thinking about you anyway. Not because someone forced you to. Because your thinking changes. Your budget gets better. Your spending becomes more intentional. And impulse purchases slowly lose their power over you. The strange part is that your life still does not look rich from the outside. You still wear normal clothes. You still drive the same car. You still live a regular life. But inside, something feels different. You start feeling more in control. More calm. More aware. You stop feeling like someone trying to build wealth. And start feeling like someone who already does. That change is hard to explain to people who only look at money from the outside. Because repetition does something numbers cannot. It creates self-respect. Every month you keep your promise to yourself, you trust yourself a little more. And that confidence slowly becomes stronger than the need to look successful. Then something small happens that changes everything. One day, you open the account again like always. But this time feels different. The number is bigger than you expected. Maybe it is your first $10,000. Maybe it is the first year your investments made real growth on their own. Either way, something changes in that moment. Not because the money suddenly solves your whole life. It does not. You are not rich yet. You are not retiring tomorrow. Most people would still look at the number and call it small. But psychologically, it changes everything. Because for the first time, the future stops feeling imaginary. You finally see proof. Real proof. Not advice from videos. Not motivation from social media. Not quotes about success. Proof inside your own account. And suddenly, all those quiet months start making sense. The skipped purchases. The boring consistency. The weekends you stayed disciplined while other people spent without thinking. It was working the whole time. You just could not see it yet. That is the moment belief appears. And once belief becomes real, discipline becomes easier. Because now, every deposit feels connected to something bigger. The process no longer feels blind. You stop asking, will this work? And start asking, what happens if I keep going? That shift is powerful. Small proof creates massive motivation. And for the first time in a long time, the future starts feeling exciting instead of stressful. And then life hits you. Not in a movie scene. Not all at once. Just slowly, in the way real life does. An unexpected bill. A family emergency. Hours getting cut at work. Maybe even losing a job completely. At the same time, the market drops. The account that once gave you hope suddenly starts shrinking. You open the app and see red numbers everywhere. Fear spreads fast. People online start saying the economy is falling apart. Some people panic and pull their money out. Others quit completely. And for a moment, you feel stupid for even trying. Because now the sacrifice feels painful again. You start thinking about all the money you could have spent instead. All the fun you delayed. All the discipline that suddenly feels fragile. This is where most people break. Not during the easy months. During the emotional ones. Because building wealth is not only about numbers. It is about staying calm when fear becomes loud. It is emotional endurance disguised as math. And slowly, something important changes inside you. You stop reacting to every bad moment. You stop expecting the journey to feel perfect all the time. You begin understanding that setbacks are not proof the plan failed. They are part of the process itself. So even while things feel uncertain, you continue. Maybe not perfectly. Maybe with fear still in your chest. But you continue anyway. And that quiet decision says more about your future than any market prediction ever could. Then one day, time starts changing the game. Maybe it is year 5. Maybe year 10. You open the account again, expecting normal growth. But the numbers move faster than before. Not because you suddenly became rich. Not because you found some secret investment. Because time has been quietly working beside you this whole time. At first, every dollar in the account came directly from your effort. Every deposit came from hours worked. Discipline. Sacrifice. But now something strange starts happening. The investments begin growing, almost as much as your monthly contributions. Sometimes even more. And that realization feels shocking the first time you see it. The money you invested years ago is now creating more money on its own. Those small decisions you made when nobody noticed are now multiplying themselves. This is the moment compounding finally becomes visible. And once you experience it, your relationship with time changes forever. You stop chasing fast results. You stop needing constant excitement. Because now you understand something most people never truly feel. Small actions repeated long enough can become unstoppable. At first, you work for the portfolio. Eventually, the portfolio starts working with you. That is when motivation becomes stronger. Not because building wealth suddenly becomes easy, but because the future finally starts pulling you forward instead of you forcing yourself every day. And for the first time, patience stops feeling like waiting. It starts feeling like power. At this point, the money is no longer the most important thing. The person is. Years ago, small expenses used to create stress. One unexpected bill could ruin your whole mood for the week. Now you think differently. You plan ahead. You stay calmer. You stop reacting emotionally to every little financial problem. Because deep down, you know you built something slowly and honestly over time. That confidence changes the way you move through life. Patience becomes normal. You stop needing everything immediately. You become comfortable waiting. And that might be the biggest shift of all. Future thinking replaces survival thinking. You stop asking, "Can I survive this month?" and start asking, "What kind of life am I building 10 years from now?" That is real wealth. Not showing off online. Not buying things to impress strangers. Real wealth feels quiet, stable, peaceful. The biggest return was not the money. It was becoming someone harder to financially manipulate. Then the years keep moving. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And the growth no longer looks normal. The account that once struggled to move now grows faster every year. What started as a simple $500 decision becomes something most people cannot believe. Not because of luck. Because time rewards consistency more than intensity. And when you look back, the strangest part is how small it all started. A number most people thought was meaningless quietly changed an entire life. Because discipline compounds. Confidence compounds. Identity compounds. And little by little, repeated decisions become a completely different future. Most people wait for a big opportunity to change their life. But sometimes, your future changes the moment you repeat a small decision long enough that it becomes who you are.